You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On tonight's show, Luke Callen, Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys, and the People Brothers Band. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching the White Wall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 8. To apply, visit whitewallsessions.com/appear. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, Ben's Brewing Company, Screenflare, J. Rick Music, The Pink Moon Room, Minuteman Press, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Luke Callen returned to the White Wall Sessions for a solo session in Season 7. Luke had previously appeared on the show in Season 4 with the Colorado-based group Von Stomp. A La Crosse, Wisconsin native, Luke currently calls Minneapolis home, but spends many days a year touring throughout the country.
Manifesting destiny one morning, walk on Kelly's shore to a big flashlight and somebody pounding on my passenger door. It chanced to be a policeman wondering where I'm from. And if I fail to show my driver's license, he'll have to draw his gun. He said, go back to the valley that born you. Go back to the valley you walk along to. Cambria counted on me, one more broken man. So I thought I'd test my luck a little, northern coast to rest amongst the pears and plums aplenty. Oregon should know best, but alas I was sorely mistaken. They were kicking everyone out. The election came and now they're yelling, go back to the south. They say go back to the valley that born you. Go back to the valley you walk along to. It popped, it counted on me, one more broken man. So my friends, my family, my foes aplenty. This story that I tell, just a simple song of the many and how we've come to dwell. See the time, the poor, the huddled masses, no place to call their own. So they wander wishing moss
Thank you.
A lot of times you got a song, you know where it's going, and you want to put all the parts in, and you feel you should. But when you're with the band, they start putting parts in. It's like, oh, that's great. Wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. It's just kind of trade off, right?
Yeah. For most of my songs, I was really happy to have people contribute because I really couldn't. I taught myself how to play, and I never took any lessons or went to any songwriting classes. I just sort of like listened to a lot of music and tried to do what other people were doing, the people I look up to. And a lot of people I look up to, they don't really write bridges or, fancy, too many fancy chord progressions. And so it was fun working with some other cats who had in the band who had kind of had some of more of that training. It was like, why don't we put a bridge here? Why don't we go to an interesting chord here? And I was like, oh man, I never would have thought of that, and I still don't think of it. And even though I like to think of it, and then I just carry on.
I remember buying a John Prine songbook. This was before the internet.
Oh, cool.
Back in the 80s. And it was, I think the first page said, there's 3, maybe 4 chords in this book. That's all you need, or something like that.
Yeah. 3 chords in the truth, they say sometimes. Yeah. I think there's something to be said about a lot of that. I don't really, there's like these really, really terrible things called these like songwriting workshops, and they kind of like make you think that a song is a certain thing and it needs to be a certain way. And there's also, the worst part of it is there's some idiot making a lot of money doing that, telling you how to write a song. And I think it's cool to go, it's cool seeing that in a John Prine book, which I love. That's how I learn a lot of music is just going to guitar shops or record stores and buying the old like ragtime books and kind of like looking at what's on this sheet of paper. But yeah, you don't really. You can use a lot of chords. You cannot use a lot of chords. You can say a lot of things. You cannot say a lot of things. You can, have really interesting melodies, and you cannot. I mean, they're all equally valid, and there's some great. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you've got the presence and you've got the feel and the words, I think the rest of the stuff sort of falls behind, and you don't need that to support. When you've got that. What you're doing, I mean, some of your songs, your storytelling and that kind of thing.
Yeah. You said that, not me, man.
But you don't. It relies on the feeling of the song, the meaning of the song, rather than the mechanics behind it.
Yeah, like I said, I think it doesn't. There's no. There's no one way to skin a cat, and the same thing goes for like songwriting. So
I noticed some of your songs, a lot of them are personal experience type things. Do you prefer to write about do you say I a lot, or do you say he or she, write about someone else? Yeah,
that's an interesting question. Yeah, there's like this thing that happens in songwriting a lot, which is like you take like you kind of flip it. You take like a personal experience and you try to remove yourself from it, and so you start putting he or she or they on it, or like vice versa, where there's like this someone else's experience, and you start you vibe with it, and you start using the I and me. I know like there's one song in particular that I started writing as from a personal experience, and then changed it to someone else's, but I felt like they were the same experience, so I felt okay doing that, which is Eddie's Blues, which is on the record. And I kind of wrote part of this song, and then I finished after I talked with Eddie, and it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna change this to Eddie's Blues. I don't need it to be about me. And I'm trying to write not as many tunes about myself or my personal, like my feelings. I think I like to write about my feelings or my thoughts on things, but I'm trying to, there's so many good stories out there, and there's so many people that need their stories to be told. that I'm trying to focus a lot more on incorporating other folks' stories. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of and that being said, I don't always do that. You know, I try. You got to give yourself up to, there is a cathartic nature to like songwriting, and some of that is just like some sort of like releasing what you need to get out there. But then it's what you choose to put on a record, and that gets into like this whole other thing. So I mean, yeah.
Have you heard about a man running around the town? Matter where you live, he fouling you down. His chin is dripping with the fat of the land. From it he rings the song of the dam. Brackets they outlined with 100 lawyers' hands, all telling me you could never understand. In his hand he holds a pan soaked in the young folks' blood. With it he writes to the coming flood. He's saying, go on, forget what you need, and take it down to say, oh, yeah, stay. He holds the worst of creation uneasy in his grip. Cause of destruction, they crack like a whip. Now some fall in line and some go off the wall. Some sleep with the bombs at their door. They're saying, go on, forget what you need, and take it down to say, oh, yeah, stay. Now you'll see a man, he has every widow that he's made. Each tear she weeps, 1,000 just the same. So if you ever a chance to see him in some dark alleyway, show him now the light of day. Yeah, go on, forget what you believe, and take it down to say, oh, yeah, stay.
Thanks. Coming up after the break, Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music.
Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
With an arsenal of new material and backing drummer, Jonathan Byrd returned to the studio to perform for Season 7. With rich storytelling and swelling dynamics, Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys stunned the live audience with a stellar performance. Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys are Jonathan Byrd, guitar and vocals, Johnny Waken, guitar, mandolin, saw and vocals, and Austin McCall, drums, bass, and vocals.
Seagull flies out over the ice and perches. Half a moon above the birches. A pale rider on a white horse. The sunset shines in the eye of a loon as she watches the falling shadows for the foxes. A little blood on the bone knife. Pale rider on a white horse. The raven dreams, he sees through the eyes of the dying into a sky full of dark wings. Night comes to take us home. Little blood on the bone knife. Pale rider on a white horse. Hey, pale rider. The sun returns and burns gold into the shallows. The eagle watches from the willows. There's a flash in the river. Night comes to take us home. Little blood on the bone knife. Pale rider on a white horse. Hey, pale rider. Ha, 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 ha. Ooh.
So Chapel Hill, North Carolina is home now, or I mean, you grew
That's
up there?
right. Yeah, I was born in a town called Fayetteville, which is one of the largest military towns in the U.S. It's kind of in the southern part of North Carolina. But we moved away before I even remember it, and really Chapel Hill is where I grew up. It's a little college town, and I really enjoy. The more I travel, the more I enjoy that area and appreciate it for what it is.
And when did you and Johnny start playing together?
I reckon it was about 9 years ago that we started playing together, and Johnny kind of came with Paul Ford. They were best friends, and Paul played the bass, and we were a trio for a long time. So we made our last record, Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys, and we recorded a couple of local guys' songs, Matt Faulkner, and on the last day of recording, Paul called in sick, and he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he passed away about a year later. So Johnny and I played as a duo. We would hire people. Like last time we were here with Charlie Minch, great bass player, played with the Stray Birds for a long time, and then we started this residency at a little roadhouse close to us because we weren't touring very much, and we had traded agents, and some things were going on with the business, and we just wanted to play. We wanted to be tight. So we got this weekly thing. Every Wednesday night we played 7 to 10, and we never imagined how successful it would be. It's been very successful. But because it's not a listening room, it's a bar, and people come in there and they can chat and they can dance or whatever they want to do. So we thought we need a little bit of energy. Let's get a third person. And we had worked with Austin a little bit before and knew him from his work with Kyra Ba, which is a great Senegalese group. And other people, Violet Bell, and you play with a lot of people. And so he started playing with us every Wednesday at the Kraken, and just immediately it became the thing. And he started picking up some of the harmonies, and now he's playing bass in the band too, and he's been a great team member.
That's great. Well, so let's talk about the Kraken and putting that together.
Yeah.
You just seem to want to really just share the music. I mean, share your soul, share your ideas, share your talents. Mm-hmm. And that's where kind of the Matt Faulkner thing comes in. You met Matt down at Kerrville, I believe, right? Or
that's right. The Kerrville Folk Festival, I think it was 2002.
Sure.
Was the first year that I was there. And I think I make stuff up all the time because I'm a storyteller, right? Whatever the most interesting things are, I just put them together, whether they happen or not. But I'm pretty sure that he was at the gate when I first arrived at the festival. And you told me, welcome home. And I saw him later. I was like, there's the guy who told me, welcome home. Then a few days later, I was like, whoa. And he writes really great songs.
So, along with Matt and that, what is it that makes you want to share that communication with people? I mean, is there something that...
That's just what it is. That's what it is. It's just people don't exist in a vacuum. The communication is what the music is. When we play and people respond to us, that is what the event really is. Those people who are there for us and singing the songs with us or clapping or getting up and dancing or whatever, that energy that they bring to the event is as much a part of the event as what we're doing on stage. And without them, we're just, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing there? And there's actually a research paper I read recently about, it's called The Resonance Theory of Consciousness. And they talk about sort of at the basic level of physical things, they're made of waves and they resonate together. And things that they discovered pretty early on, a couple of 100 years ago, when they started making good clocks. If you hung two clocks on the same wall, pretty soon they would start moving together. They would lock in with each other. And so now, like, serious scientists are thinking maybe that's the basis of consciousness, is the way things resonate with each other. And I think that on a base level, that's what's happening in the room when you play music. And not only the musicians, but the people who are listening.
That's great. Because there is a magic between the listener and the player, mm-hmm. and the people in the room. And mm-hmm. what life is about, right?
Yeah, yesterday we played a festival. It was a great festival, Rhythm of the River in Jackson, Minnesota. Beautiful spot. But there was, maybe 40 or 50 feet between us and the first audience member. And the whole time I just wanted everybody, can you just just come up. Like, I want to feel your energy. I want to hear you when you laugh or when you sing along. We really crave that kind of feedback.
How long have you been writing, and when did you start that and start realizing that, hey, I'm pretty good at this and I can maybe share it?
Am I good at it? I don't know when that part happened, and I don't really know when I started writing. That was just always a thing that I did. I always wrote poetry, or I just wrote about my feelings. I don't know when I started playing music, really. There were just instruments around in the house, and it was always a thing that I did. That's how I expressed myself. Mostly it just stayed in my notebooks. I didn't show anybody or share it with anyone. But when I started playing music, I discovered that bands needed songs, and I really enjoyed original music. I like when I go see a band and they're playing their own songs. Some people like to hear the songs they're familiar with, but I like to hear what people have to say. So it was just kind of default to me. I was like, well, I guess I'll have to write some songs, so we have some songs. And so I started writing songs, and I don't think I really got good at it until I discovered a form of acoustic music called old time, which is sort of pre-bluegrass social music. It's not really performance music. It's like anybody who can halfway play an instrument or sing something. Everybody's in the band, and you get together for a big party, and people have food and dancing or whatever, and everybody plays some tunes that everybody knows. They're 100 years old, these fiddle tunes or songs or whatever. So old-time music, it's really stripped down. You don't have what they would call a bridge in the music business, sometimes not even a chorus or a second part at all. It'd just be a repeating part that you would sing this story over, and maybe the last line of the verse would have sort of the phrase, or maybe not, like Girl from the North Country is a really good example of a modern song that's written in that old style. It's just a story, and it doesn't have a chorus. It doesn't have a thing that you sing along with.
Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. I had a girl I loved the best, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Lord knows Johnny could have loved the rest, but the boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. I had a bottle of a 90 proof, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. I'd take one drink, he'd take two, and the boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. Johnny was using my good cane pole, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Got so drunk that he couldn't keep a hold, and the boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. Then what happened I never could tell. Bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. He never could handle his liquor well, and the boy went fishing and drowned. Oh! I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, bottom of the lake, poor Johnny. Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, the boy went fishing and drowned. I said, poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake, poor Johnny.
Poor Johnny at the bottom of the lake. The boy went fishing and drowned it.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, the People Brothers Band.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanton, founder of Ben's Brewing Company. At Ben's, we've always appreciated the finer things in life, like great friends, great music, and great beer. Ben's Brewing Company is proud to announce our White Wall Session Ale. This light pale ale is sourced from the finest local ingredients and pairs exceptionally well with great friends and great music.
Enjoy responsibly. Ben's Brewing Company, Yankton, South Dakota.
Good people drink Ben's beer.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
With an electrified performance and a robust soul, the People Brothers Band delivered an unbelievable session. Their contagious sound and positive vibes energized the crew and live studio audience. Traveling from Madison, Wisconsin, the group's mission is to spread love and share their passion for music. The People Brothers Band is Teresa Marie, vocals, Bobby G, keys and vocals, Craig Bauman, guitar and vocals, Greg Schmidt, drums and vocals, Elliot Walks, saxophone, Tim Lochner, guitar and vocals, and Scott Lochner on bass.
Speaking of the way we're feeling, this song right here is called That Feeling.
I've been high, I've been around, I've touched the sky, I've bit the ground. I'm gonna take my time, go where I'm needed. Tell me I'm right, yeah, to me it seems you got that feeling, you got that feeling, you got that feeling, yeah, you got that feeling. But don't let your ship sail, you wind up waiting on a cheap sail. Don't waste your sweet time, instead of living on the rewind. Take your woman right by the hand, I let your feet move without care. I leave you worried, baby, leave them there. I let the music go and take you there. And then you get that feeling, you get that feeling, you get that feeling, you get that feeling. You've been looking for was in your hands, it was always
Wall Sessions. This is a good morning. Thank you so much.
So it was a 3-piece and then a 4.
Well, no, there was it was always a big band. We were 6 pieces probably from the first show. So because it was an open mic night, we would just grab people that were randomly, coming down to play. And to this day, every given show, we might have different people sitting in.
We could have a saxophone player from Frog Leg.
We could have our percussionist is playing lead guitar tonight. So
yeah. Which was great. So so it's kind of a fluid lineup, but there's a bit of a core that's always there.
Yeah.
And then how long is that? Have you been together then? As
their whole life?
we hit 11 years in April.
There are 2 brothers in the band.
Yeah,
actual brothers.
I wasn't in the band to start though either. Yeah, we were the People Brothers band before my brother joined the band. So then once he joined the band, it kind of officially made that makes a little more sense. But yeah, now it all makes sense. So.
And this band is all about positive, spreading love and that kind of thing, which is, you can feel it. It's therapy for the audience and probably for the band too. Has that always been what this band is about, or did it kind of evolve to that?
I think now we would say that it's definitely evolved to be exactly what it is right now. But I've always done music my entire life, and that's all I've ever said is I want to touch the world with music. I'm here to do something beautiful with music in the world. And when I met these guys, I knew immediately, and I said it from the beginning. I said, we're going to do something really cool. You guys are like, whatever, silly girl. And then we just kind of kept doing what we were doing, and it's organically just become the lifestyle that we all live.
Well, it's working. I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much.
I was listening to Love Electric today, and you hit a part of the song, and I just instantly stared crying. You make me cry.
Thank you.
But it was just,
I did too,
you
actually.
just feel it. Did you?
That was the point.
Yeah.
It's I want to say almost spiritual. I don't want to get too crazy, but it feels like that. You're sharing this positive energy, and I bet you get that back from the crowd wherever you're at, right?
Absolutely. It is a feeling. It's real. It's love, and it is music, and it's what everybody speaks and everybody understands. And deep inside of us, nothing that comes out on stage is a front. It's all what we're feeling, and we just give it to you. And it's like the rest of the world. Energy is absolutely shared. And when we're giving you love, you're giving us love right back. And it's the reason it just keeps bouncing around and it just keeps growing. And I believe that's what we're put here for in this world. And hopefully it just keeps spreading.
I believe it. Well, so you do it very effectively because there's incredible musicianship in this band. So, let's start with that awesome rhythm section.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Good work, Scott. Good work.
You're getting to know it.
You guys are in, and you're just laying it. That's got to feel good because that's being in the rhythm section of a band like this is pretty cool.
Yeah, and we usually got Brother Craig playing hand drums too. He was tearing it up on the guitar tonight. But usually, so it's it's so fun. It's just fun being the heartbeat. It's fun getting that rolling, and it's fun just getting the party going all the time.
Yeah. And bass, you were.
Thank you.
You got the funk, but you got exactly what to do with that.
I never know what Scotty's doing, but I'm never concerned about it. That's when you know you got somebody special because you're like, I'm like, I don't know what he's, because sometimes he's doing this.
I know.
Most bass players have like the thing where they're really in their thing and they use a pick or they use their fingers, or he's kind of throwing it all in there and a lot of genre mixing. So I never know what Scotty's going to be doing back there. It's inspiring.
It's the kind of music we play. It's fun. We jump around to so many different styles. Every one of us has grown up listening to different music, and we all have our favorites, but somehow we come together, and it's just one of those things. I have so much freedom to play, but in a band like this, it's also important not to play a lot.
We believe that there is one thing that is more powerful, more beautiful, more healing than anything else in the world, and that is love. And I want to tell you all about it.
trees. What can make a grown man fall down crying on his knees? What can't give a broke, defeated heart the strength to carry on and keeps the spirit living long after the body is gone. It's a love electric, and it keeps the world spinning round. It's a love electric. It sounds like it feels. It feels like it sounds. See, the beauty of love is that it comes in so many forms, with all the colors of a rainbow and all the power of a storm, like the stars in the sky above. Endless are the ways, and it's a blessing to count them every day that I wake. Like a laugh from the soul, the thrill of the game, the warmth of a hug, the kiss of the rain, the smell of a fire, a baby's first cry, and the pain in your heart when you say it goodbye. Oh, the love of a dog and children at play. It's a comfort of hope at the end of the day. It is joy, it is pain, it can heal, it can burn, it is strong, it is real, it is lesson to learn. It's love electric, and it keeps the world spinning round. It's love electric. It sounds like it feels. It feels like it sounds. Yeah, yeah. Can you feel that? Can you feel that here today at White Wall Sessions? And I surely hope you can feel it out there in the world. We are going through some crazy times, but what I do know is that we have been put on this earth to be loved and to give love, and that love can take even the most broken person and make them have the ability to love again. We should spread love with every breath in our body, every fiber of our being. Bring it down, let's let them feel it, my brothers. Love electric. Love, love electric. It's love, 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 love electric. It's love, 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 love electric. It's love, 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 love,
People Brothers Band.
The White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is Dave Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Carl Koiser, Kevin Phipps, and Dave Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us next week, same time, same station.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.